Hello again, all you happy, joyous, and free people in recovery who are trudging the road to happy destiny. We thank you for gracing our humble blog with your presence. You know, we are attempting to expand the recovery community over this marble we call the internet to where it can reach every person in the world that needs assistance in their recovery. And that's why we're asking you to please share your experience, strength, and hope. Reach out to others. You never know whose life you're going to influence. And, you know, ask a question. Suggest a topic for a future blog entry. Either do it here or directly at the blog at www.askanalcoholic.com. We will respond in both places. Now you might be wondering what guilt, shame, and remorse have to do with the road to relapse. Well, let's look at it through the lens of our past experience. We look at our past and the things that we've done. Now, we've harmed pretty well everyone that is close to us, hurt them. And this brings us guilt, and we're ashamed of our behavior, and we regret what we have done. We don't like those feelings. There's not many feelings we do like. Those ones especially are negative, and we really know easily how to avoid feeling. We go to the substance of our choice, and we use until we're numb, or we pass out and have no feeling at all. And then when we come to or wake up, we have the additional guilt, shame, and remorse of having used again. Now, this is especially dangerous for those who have had some time in recovery, because now you have to face the shame of going back to those that you associated with and admit that you have relapsed. It is at this point where we lose a lot of people in recovery. They just can't seem to bring themselves to go back to the people that were so essential in keeping them clean and sober by sharing with them a simple program that used on a daily basis will allow them to get one day clean and sober, and you can put a bunch of them together and then you got time. They can't get back to the ones that would love them until they could learn to love themselves again. They either end up in jail, they end up in mental institutions, or they end up in the graveyard. And it's so sad, because all they have to do is humble themselves, get their ego out of the way, and reach out. The welcome that they will receive will astound them. It is really, really hard to come to that place where you realize that you really need the help on a consistent basis, that you need the community of recovery to be around you all the time. And I believe I've said it before, but I will say it again. I have figured out that I am going to spend the rest of my life around addicts and alcoholics, because I am one. My choice, and it's a simple one, is simply, do I hang around the ones that are drinking and using, or do I hang around the ones that are staying sober and clean? And if I choose to hang around these ones, which I do, it's going to be for the rest of my life. And in doing so, that will allow me to stay clean and sober. It is really difficult sometimes when you look into the future. So I try not to. I also don't try to examine my past too closely. What I have done is I have accepted what I have done in the past. I take accountability for it, And on a daily basis, I try to live my life according to a set of principles that allow me to live it in a better way, one day at a time. It is guilt that keeps us in our addiction. It is shame that never allows us to leave. And it is remorse over the past that brings us to the pit of despair. We need to let go. And that doesn't mean that we forget. It simply means that we're living our life in a more positive way, and we can now not worry about what we did. We make amends for it by making a living amends, and that gives us the courage and the hope for the future. It's like Doug used to say, everybody needs goals. Everybody needs to make plans for the future. What you need to leave out of that equation are the expectations. Have your goals, make your plans, work towards them, but accept whatever God gives you as a gift. Face every day as a new present, that God is going to give you things that will surprise you, will challenge you, but they will help you to grow. And in growing, we get better. In growing, we reach out to others and end up having a better life ourselves. Guilt, shame, and remorse are three things that we cannot afford to have in our lives because they lead to self-pity. And you get an alcoholic or an addict throwing themselves a pity party, and before long they're going to go and get some party favors. Because every party's got to have favors, right? I truly wish that what we do here is helping someone somewhere with their daily recovery, their daily reprieve. I hope that people are starting to understand that the spirituality of this program is what gives them the strength to have that daily reprieve. If it reaches even one person and benefits them, it has been worth every bit of effort that we have put forward and will continue to put forward. So again, I invite you to help us do that. Join us in our attempt to unite the global community of recovery so that wherever we travel in this world, we will be safe. Because we will know there will be others of our kind there to help us if we get in trouble. So until we meet again, it is my true and joyous wish that we will walk together hand in hand with each other and our higher power as we walk joyously the road, the happy road of recovery. Bless you all, and shalom.